There's really two types of form of pre-planning in the fire service from my perspective. There's the training of potentially going to a fire. So firefighters train a lot for potential hazards when they come onto a fire. And then there's pre-planning for hazards within an occupancy or business or location that you may not be trained for. For example, you might want to know where the fire alarm panels or the sprinkler connections are. It's impossible to know where everything's located at each business and stuff, so it's basically mapping the features of a building, the hazards of the building, and the building itself. What are the contents of the building, the construction of the building, the location of access points into that building. So basically it's a map page zoomed into a building. People would do pre-plans manually. They'd actually go out and measure that stuff. They would measure the distance from the fire hydrant to the corner of the building. They would measure the parking lot itself, and they actually measured the edges of the building. And it's kind of a funny story. I did a pre-plan with an old-time captain once, and I was starting to do a pre-plan using the date, just a piece of paper with the building footprint, and he started to measure the building. I go, hey, you could stop. I've already got those measurements. Oh, okay. Then he'd turn around the next corner and start measuring the building again. I go, no, it's fine. And then finally I told him, okay. And so I just let him do it. So it was interesting because I saw the kind of the transition of work and the amount of work saved, because he was actually kind of doing it the old way. And the new way was I just had the data that already existed, and I was able to use the existing GIS data. Then on top of that, we'd use site visits just to map, not the measure of the building, but just the location of features. You have to make it so that it reduces the workload of firefighters. And that's what technology has to do, is reduce the workload, not increase the workload. The incident boils down to this. There are something that needs to be fixed, a fire, an active shooter, a rescue victim, whatever. There's something that needs to be fixed, and there's a location of that. Then surrounding that hazard or that problem, there are things that you need to access, things you need to shut off, things you need to avoid, and things that could also cause additional problems. So those are the things that need to be mapped. So those are the kind of the broad categories that we created. Typically, a pre-plan is a piece of paper. And I'm trying to expand that to the next level with having active mobile mapping in our vehicles, where that data is not a piece of paper you see in a PDF form inside on a computer. We're using the data as an active map. So eventually when my fire engine gets on scene and I'm looking for the hydrant, the fire department connection, the alarm panel, I have absolute knowledge and ability to say, yeah, my fire engine's there, the fire department connection's over there, and I got to go over here. And it's on one picture.